Hello, everybody. What a beautiful crowd we have and a great conversation in store for you here today. Maria, I'm going to jump right in with the exciting news around your role with NBC expanding what I call almost the Avengers right now. It's looking like the lineup in terms of Tracy McGrady, Vince Carter, Michael Jordan, Carmelo Anthony, and so many others as well as yourself. What was that reaction for you when you found out you're going to be transitioning into NBA coverage with NBC with this incredible lineup? Ultimate crossover now, as well as just maybe your schedule getting a little bit busier. As if it's not busy enough with having a toddler and already doing a tremendous job with Football Night in America, that you now have the opportunity to cover the NBA, the WNBA. What can we expect from these expansions of roles within your busy 24 hours that apparently aren't the same 24 hours that we have? There's a lot there for us to unpack. So I'm going to start with the one thing that jumped out at me first. It was you feeling as though you took a step back when you made that transition. And for a lot of people, ESPN, sports mecca, sports leader, it's hard to continue to flourish after that. Yet here you are thriving in, as you've talked about, so many different components of sports coverage, from the Olympics to the NBA to the NFL to the WNBA, and even into some entertainment that we'll get into in a moment. You know, what was it that helped you take that step back to leap forward?
Like, I was still moving forward. It's just I'm moving differently. And that's what led me to the decision to come over to
That
NBC.
is a bar right there. Moving differently. And as you mentioned, moving differently into also being able to start and build your own family. And for a lot of women in sports, and I see a lot of us in the room here and a lot of us that are watching, there's always the dilemma that you feel as though you have to sacrifice and choose. And that's for everybody, but especially for women. And I'm curious, as you touched on this a little bit, how has this opportunity, which has you working 25/8, also allowed you to still make time for family?
Yeah.
And beyond even sports and family, you're also crossing into so many other lanes within your NBC programming that you're appearing on. I remember turning on the Kelly Clarkson show randomly, and I was like, Maria is there doing the Kelly Olympics.
Yeah.
You're on the Today Show. Was this also a goal of yours to expand beyond sports into more of that entertainment and culture? Well, as a fellow two-sport Division I athlete, I understand as you're speaking my language of flexing different muscles and also just adding that versatility to your workflow, that you're not doing the same thing. It's not becoming very stagnant in that regard, but allowing you to stretch beyond maybe even your own comfort zone into some new areas. And so I'm thoroughly curious as you look at all these different hats that you wear and all the different experiences. You know, you touched on Robin Roberts being an idol, a role model. What was that goal when you made that decision that you wanted to get into broadcasting versus what you're actually living now? It's remarkable the amount of ways we pivot in our career. You change, you have one vision in mind, and with each chapter, it just allows you to expand in a different way. And the remarkable thing I also found was, as I was even just preparing for this conversation to figure out what's the best direction to take this for our audience to get so much knowledge from you, we almost need to swap out this screen with just the list of all the things you're doing, because there's another component as well that I haven't even hit on yet. It's the producer side. And you and I spoke previously before today just regarding how you wanted to be able to put on that producer hat, especially looking at this tremendous series you're doing around the role of the Black quarterback. Yeah. What has that production experience to be able to tell the stories you feel deserve to be told been like for you?
I feel like
in perspective, I mean, there are so many firsts we're still seeing where you're just seeing for the first time a division in the NFL have all 4 starting quarterbacks that are Black quarterbacks. So many things that are new, that are trailblazing, and you're at the forefront of that as well, even within your own role. You touched on building trust, building relationships as a woman, as a Black woman that's, I'm sure many times walking into rooms where there aren't many that look like us. You know, what have you learned to help build those relationships, to help be able to walk into those rooms confidently, to help open doors for others as well? Absolutely. And I'm also interested in just how your transition as a former athlete has also helped as well, because there are so many similarities. I tell people every day, I feel like I'm still on the grind as a soccer player, because it's so much that's the same in just your preparation, your routine, how you execute good days and bad games, so to speak. You know, what has helped you as a former athlete in just how you're bringing your authentic self into these rooms now with so many different sports and leagues that you're a part of? We could have this conversation for many hours, but let's wrap it up with this. Because of all the exciting things you have going on in your expanding role with NBC, I'm curious, let's start with Football Night in America. Of course, we're already heading into week 3 of the NFL season. It's been an exciting season, go Birds, to start off the year. What else are you hoping to bring in this season for the NFL that you wanted to do differently from the past? Heading into year one of this 11-year deal with the NBA returning to NBC. What are the we're kind of in preseason for even your broadcast coverage, of course. What can we anticipate to look forward to with your NBA coverage? Well, speaking of entertaining, the WNBA playoffs have been extremely entertaining to start off in this first round. And of course, by this time next season, you guys will have the plan rolled out. You know, being back in women's basketball as a former player, what are you hoping to bring, and especially now with where the W's at? I've loved having this opportunity to be on the other side of the interview and getting to learn more about you, because you're typically the one asking the questions. So my final question to you to leave people with is, with all these incredible things on your plate that is very full and runneth over, so to speak, what else can we expect from you, Maria? What does the future hold in terms of how you hope to expand? Well, I feel the light here. I'm sure you guys do too, and have really thoroughly enjoyed this conversation as much as I did. Maria, thank you guys, and thank you all for being tuned in here with us at the Time Center. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.